Hi, my name's Renee Bronson. For my internship, I was a special ed paraeducator at our local high school. I found my internship um, through a lady in my ward. It's actually my job, and I have worked in special ed for about 8 years. I feel that my area of study with family and marriage studies that I'm able to tie what I'm learning at school with what I learn with my kids on an academic level and on a social level. We talk about lots of things and we make goals and I just felt that it tied in together pretty well. My responsibilities. This year I had 9 freshmen that I worked with and a couple of juniors. Um, my students are awesome. In our classroom, we have ninth grade to 12th grade. There's a paraeducator for each grade level, and we also have a special ed teacher in our classroom. I shadow the kids as they go to their core classes. I am responsible for taking notes, for tracking them and watching them and making sure they're staying on task. Um, I help them with the homework that we have in class. And in out of class, they come to a study skills class every day for 80 minutes in our classroom that they get extra help on their homework or longer time for taking their tests, things like that. I communicate with the teachers um, a lot of times in their behalf, but we really try to give the kids some autonomy and independence and encourage them to go talk to the teachers on their own. I track the kids. We have paperwork that we keep through the time that the kids are in school. Um, I know that our teacher uses them as reference, and if we ever have a question or a problem, or if a parent has a teacher, we have the paperwork backing us up. We do math and reading probes in our classroom once a month for growth purposes, and the kids don't like them at all, but they're necessary. I track assignments. I have my own little agenda and I write down everything we're doing in classes. And we have a big whiteboard in our classroom. And for each class, there's a box and we put our assignments in there. So if I'm not in there during a time that some of my kids are in there with another para, then she knows what's going on. And also, the kids do an email weekly or daily that they write down the assignment so their parents also know what's going on. We have files that have assignments in them that so we can have those added resources to help our kids. I also help proctor state testing, ISATs, and things like that to help out our district for growth. Discipline, when the kids are in our classroom, we sometimes have different grade levels, and the kids have gotten to be friends, and it gets a little chaotic once in a while, and we have to put a kibosh on stuff and keep the kids on task. Also, I have um, access to Power School, and I'm able to check the kids' grades whenever I need to. The kids are usually pretty good about getting on their own Power School accounts and showing me their assignments and what they're missing, and we talk about what they can do better or what they can do to make up something. And I think that's all of my responsibilities. Oh, I do have staff duty in the staff lounge that I have to go do 4 times a year, even though I don't even use the staff lounge. It's lovely. I feel that the school district has benefited from me working there because I am responsible, I'm organized, I'm on task, I'm punctual, I have good relationships with my students. I just think of them as an extension of an extra limb, if you would have it that way, of my own family. A lot of the freshmen I've worked with this year are friends, some of them are friends with my son. And so it's been kind of fun. One of the young ladies is my second cousin. Well, actually, second cousin once removed. Anyway, but I have a good relationship with the teachers, specifically the freshman teachers that I work with. We have a really good relationship as far as the kids go, and on a personal basis also. I have a good relationship with the principal. I've been in some classes with him before he was an administrator, and so he and I have a good relationship. The vice principal and the counselor. I feel that at any time, if I had a problem with something going on in our classroom that hasn't been resolved, or with my own child, or with another staff member, that I could go to them and I would be taken at, they would listen to what I had to say and take it from there. Um, we have a really good school district, and I feel that the kids have benefited from me because I like to talk to them, and we talk about their sports, and we talk about who they're asking to prom, and we talk about brothers and sisters and what goes on outside of our classroom, and what they're doing at home, and what they might do at mutual that week, or if they're going to girls camp, or what they're doing for vacation, or what they did at mom's this weekend as opposed to being at dad's this weekend. I have a really good relationship with my kids, and that makes me feel like I have benefited the classroom and the school district. Personally, I feel that I have benefited. The teacher, when you prepare a lesson or you prepare a talk, you're always the one that learns the most, and that's how I feel. I think it takes courage to work in a special ed classroom. Some people, it is really uncomfortable for them to be around people who are different from them or have disabilities. I feel like I've grown in empathy and in patience, especially, and that has trickled down to my home life with my own children. I have made lasting relationships with the staff that I work with, especially the five ladies or the four ladies, other ladies in my classroom. And I feel that I have a genuine relationship with the kids that I work with. Like I said before, we talk about a lot of things, and at the end of the class period, when they all come to stand by me, and we just talk about baseball and how the game went, or what they were doing this weekend, or how their job's going, I know that they think of me as not just Mrs. Bronson in the classroom, but Mrs. Bronson, somebody I can talk to, and that I like. I make a lot of decisions and problem solve, sometimes flying by the seat of my pants, and sometimes I have to go concur with our teacher, or with the teacher in the classroom to make sure things are okay if we have to tweak an assignment or things like that. Sometimes we have to get creative and think outside the box with assignments and classroom dynamics. I have seen growth in me. Like I said before, my empathy and my patience have grown exponentially, and my students benefit also. I think it helps them to know that there's another adult other than mom or dad that they can come talk to and that they can trust, and I appreciate that. Some of the connections I've made. I know through my religion classes and just church in general that we're all children of our Heavenly Father, and He loves all of us. And some of us we all have our quirkies, and sometimes we're different in a mental capacity or in a physical capacity, and but He loves all of us. Um, in my Family 430 class, talking about our social systems and how in our microsystem we connect with our family and our schoolmates and our friends, and then on a meso system how they all interact with each other. And I one of my cousins is in my class, and so I relate with her on school level and a family level. And another young lady I have worked with, she's a ward, and so I have those connections and with her family. And and then on an even bigger level, the kids have social media slapping them in the face all the time, and they deal with that, and that interacts with friends at school and friends on the football team and friends from church and other relatives. And then it's interesting to me that on a macro level, how even though we're all US citizens and we all live in the United States and we all live in the same state and in the same town, that we can all be so different. And it's really interesting to me to listen to them talk about their family traditions and things that go on at their house and how different they are from mine. Would I recommend it? Definitely yes. I think if you have an aptitude of being social, and you want to jump right in and help somebody every day, because you are helping somebody every day and usually a whole bunch of people every day, and you want to brush up on your algebra skills and your science skills and your periodic table and Napoleon and things like that, then um, I would recommend it. Yes, the benefits definitely outweigh the challenges. If you're interested, I would check with your local school district. You can call the main office, and they can put you in the right direction. You can call the human resources contact. You can get on the school website and check. I know the school districts are always looking for volunteers to come in and read to the kids, or help in some other ways. They're always looking for people to coach. And I'm to come into a special ed classroom and help would be very beneficial. You could also talk to a special ed teacher and they could give you some ideas.